So good afternoon, everybody. Welcome you back here to the Den, the Gammain Sports Ground. It's the final game of the home and away season, the traditional home and away season. So the final game that we'll be able to bring you here from the Den for 2026. And once again, we thank Baz very much for his for the gear that he's got up here and his skills that he's able to bring. That we're able to bring this to you. Ably assisted by Tammy, and of course the game is called by Andrew, the number one amateur broad caller in the league. It's a rinse and repeat really of the game a fortnight ago. It's a magnificent day and the ground is in superb order. Fantastic rain last weekend and early in the week. Couldn't be better. Everything's set up for a pretty good day here today, Andrew, against the Leeton Whitten Crows.
Yes, thanks very much, Guy, and welcome again, Baz and Tammy. They're back here for the last home and away game against the Leeton Whitten Crows, who sit in 7th position on the ladder. They've won 3 games so far this season, and they'll be a formidable opponent against the Lions today. They've been going very well. In the second half of the season, they pushed Wagga Tigers to 3 goals last week. The Lions coming off a 100-point win against Narrandera at Narrandera. So they'll be looking to go into finals next week with a bit of winning momentum. So they've had to make 3 changes for this game. Into the side is Zach McPherson, Lucas Hattie and Billy Burns, and out of the side is Colby Hamlin, Blair Walsh and Zach Kennedy. So the 3 changes there for the Lions, and Leeton have only had to make the 1 change with young Doyle coming out of their side. Yes, Ellie Doyle out of their side, and into it is young Axtell. So yeah, should be a good game of football here for the last home and away game here at the Gammain Sports Ground before we move into finals.
Andrew just mentioned there during the the Leeton reserve grade, second grade side, they just pulled off a win here. Andrew informs us that that was their first win in 4 seasons. Andrew, that might buoy the first grade a little bit coming out? Yes,
for sure. Yeah, no, they were very excited, Leeton Whitten reserves, to get a win their last game of the season. And yeah, they played very well, the Crows in the reserves, and the under 18s went to the Lions 63-47. So that was a very well contested game as well. So we've had 2 pretty close games so far today. It'll be interesting to see this major clash, how it unfolds.
And Andrew, you mentioned, the Lions ventured to the wide open spaces of that Narrandera Sports Ground last week. Not much resistance from the Eagles, but importantly, they've got a got a bit of feel for the ground for next weekend.
Yes, they'll come up against, at this stage, Mangapla. Wagga Tigers play Mango today, but I think Wagga Tigers have to beat Mangapla by 120 points, which is a pretty big ask. So the Lions are likely to line up against Mangapla next week in that qualifying final. The winner then would go on to play Coolerman, who sit on top of the ladder undefeated.
Well, just like that, end of the season, then it gets serious for a few weeks. So we're looking forward to that. And as we mentioned on the broadcast of the last home game, of course, the footy unfortunately clashes with the Gammain show next Saturday. So we're all set to host the Gammain show here, and whilst the boys battle it out at Narrandera in the afternoon in the first grade. And once again, put a call out to we need a lot of workers at the show. We've got that the ladies have the luncheon pavilion, and the men have the barbecue facility along the sideshow there, plus a lot of other people have various jobs to do with the show. And anyway, we're confident. The same thing happened last year. We're confident we can fill both roles, I reckon, Andrew.
Yes, no, it's a big day for the community, the Gammane show, and yes, the senior team will be playing in Narandra on that day. We also have our under-17s netball and A-grade netball playing the following day on Sunday. Also tomorrow at Mangapla we have our under-16s football team along with our under-13s and under-14s and under-15s netball. So all the best to those teams tomorrow in the juniors in the Waggaran District Football League.
Oh, it's busy times here at the Den. It's busy times coming up for Gammane. Big few weeks ahead, really. Just one other thing to report. We lost another player out of that 1956 premiership that we celebrated early in the year with the death of Mickey Carroll, and he was obviously a teammate. We keep talking about it. So Lenny Brill and Pat Quinn, I called on them through the week up at the Coolaman Hospital. They sweat on the broadcast, so we hope the stream is coming through to them. They just love it. They sit up there and they can take it all in. About to go at the sports ground at the Den.
So the Lions will be kicking to the dam end, and the Witten Crows to the road end as the ball's thrown up high as Ryan. The ball rolls out the back there, gathered by Leeton. Back to Ryan, he's tackled in the centre of the ground. Sharked there by Dan Foley. On to Nate Hamlin there at half forward. He gathers, swings around on his right, kicking forward, looking for Riley Corbett in the pocket there, but it's rolled over the sidelines. It'll be a throw-in on that far pocket.
Yeah, right in front of the sponsors there, Gammane Sports Club. That's where they'll go for the awards tonight. Have a meal, keep together.
Riley Corbett and Ryan in the ruck, and the umpires picked a free out there in that ruck contest. It'll go to Riley Corbett, and he'll have the first shot on goal for the Lions.
Riley will kick from 40. That won't be a problem for Riley, we know that. 45-degree angle thereabouts. Andrew, is this his fourth or fifth game? I've lost count.
This is his fourth game of football. He's currently kicked 16 goals, 2. So I'll put the mocker on him here. He's got a pretty good record so far in those 3 games. Kick is on its way, and the goal umpire is coming back to the centre of the goals, and he's signalled a goal. The Lions' first score of the game.
Veteran goal umpire Rick Furman, the popular mayor from Temora. He puts up those two digits, signifying a goal to Riley Corbett here in the minute and a half at the opening here at the Gammane Sports Ground, the Den, against the Witten Crows.
Start there, mate. Good pressure.
Yes, he'd coming off a 7-goal game last week before he moved himself into defence in the last quarter. It was back to the centre there. Dan Foley taps that backwards, looking for Tom Anderson, gathered by Leeton there. Charging through is Jones. Handball goes back to Parker. Double Leeton player wrapped up in a tackle there. The ball spills free. Players dive in on top of this one, and the umpire will call for a ball up. Ball's thrown up, Foley taps it back into the path of Tom Anderson. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Umpire will call it for another ball up. Dan Foley and Ryan in the ruck. Dan Foley taps it back. Gathered by Leeton there, and it's against Lucas Moline for dropping the ball. Free kick to Dan Foley. Kicks this forward, looking for Jack Reynolds. On the wing, he marks. Kicks one forward, looking for Riley Corbett, but it's cut off there by Cooper Jones for the Leeton Crows. And he takes the mark in that back pocket for Leeton. Assessing where he's going to go. He's kicked long down the line. Sitting under this is Dan Foley, but he's been penalised for a push in the back. And the kick will go to Ryan there for the Crows.
Yeah, he's been made to bring the ball back.
Kicks a grubbing kick forward. No one's going to mark that one. It's been trapped there by Leeton. They dive in on top of the ball, and the umpire's called for a ball up. Dan Foley taps it back over his shoulder. He's been in good form. It's gathered by Shannon Butterfield. It's another ball up on the Lions half-back flank. Tap down there into the path of Tom Anderson. He tries to burst through. Ball spills free there. Gathered by Lucas Balloon. Gets a little kick forward. Gathered by Leeton there, but he's wrapped up in a tackle, and the umpire calls for a ball up. No prior. That was DePoli then. For Leeton, that was tackled. Ryan taps that down, gathered by Moline. He gets a hand pass backwards. It's gathered by Nate Hamlin. Hand pass out wide looking for Gardner, Hayden, but it's regathered by Nate Hamlin. He chips forward looking for Riley Corbett on a big lead. And the ball is spilt free. A tackle there on Leeton there by Jed Corbett. It's spills on the ground. The umpire's found a free kick there to Nate Hamlin. The Lions gather and play on, kick forward, and it's a free kick over the shoulder against Seb Hamlin there to Leeton. They're corralled there. They get a hand pass forward. Kick by Tom Moline wide and finds Doyle on that wing. Comes inside to Jones. He looks to switch across into the centre of the ground to Crompton. He comes wide again and finds Jones. Then on to Hillam. On the wing here for the Crows. On the clubhouse side. He chips a little one forward there. Finds Doyle. The Leetons are controlling possession here. He goes into centre forward looking for Hillam. Goes through the hands of Tom Anderson. Picked up by Hillam. Swings around on his trusty left foot. Kicks it towards goal, and it's rolled through for a behind. First score for the Crows. Brought in by Brad Matters. Comes a long kick to the wing. It's marked by Zach Burhock. He plays on. Finds Seb Hamlin on the half-forward flank. He chips one into full forward looking for Riley Corbett. He has back position. The ball's on the ground there. Gathered by the Crows there through Doyle. And he chips in a little short one there. They've marked it on the half-back flank. Goes forward looking for Bradshaw. He spills a mark. Coming through to meet him is Boston McCree. Just cops him high there, accidental. Bradshaw kicks into the centre of the ground. Finds McMillan, who's come up from full forward. Sends a long, loping left foot kick long, looking for Doyle. He has back position. It's gone over the back. Race for the ball here by Billy Burns and Hillam. Tap forward there into the path of Moline. He's tackled. He tries to get a hand pass away, and the umpires deemed him caught with the ball. The free kick will go to Shannon Butterfield deep in the Lions defence. He goes wide to Lucas Hattie. Marks on the half-back flank. Goes wide again. Looking for Jed Corbett. He gathers at his toes. He swings around on his right. Kicks this forward looking for Hayden Gardner. He has the ball in front of him. He gathers. Hand pass back inside to Tom Anderson. He can kick long to the goal square looking for Seb Hamlin. He dives to this one, but it's just going to roll into the goal square, and Leeton kill it into the goal square. And no, the umpire's called it a goal. It must
The Lions beat him by the look of it, Andrew. He lunged desperately, and I think the line has beat him. Well, that's what the goal umpire signalled, and that's what it'll state.
Well, I think Tommy Anderson may have kicked it then, if that's the case, Guy. It's
well, I guess
it's obviously rolled past the outstretched arms of Seb Hamlin and continued on through the goals.
Yeah, I think you were waiting. I think the Leeton guy punched it at the last minute, and you might have been waiting for that penalty, but he couldn't do anything else. Of course, the Lions were penalised for a rush goal in the last game.
Yes, that's right. It's back to the centre of the ground. Dan Foley taps that forward into the path of Tom Anderson. Back to Dan Foley and kicks it to centre forward. It's marked by Charlie Smith. Chips one high off the side of his boot. Jed Corbett's marked this at half forward. He's 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Will we see a shootout here at the Den today between the brothers? We know that Jed's got this distance covered. He'll kick from 45.
Jed currently sits third on the league goal kicking with 34.
He can add to it today. Hardly a breeze. What there is just a little bit over his right shoulder. Comes in. Perfect looking drop punt. No, umpire Rick Furman taps his shoulder. He says, one behind, son.
Leading to bring it in. Through Jones. He's going to go out wide to the far side. Burhop, Zach sits under this, but it's marked by McMillan. Gives a hand pass inside to Seymour. Back to McMillan. Cut off there by Tom Anderson. Jack Sussay has possession. His kicker smothers and it rolls forward there. Gathered by the Lions. Ball spills free there. Picked up by McMillan for Leeton. Swings around his left. He kicks his forward. Looking for Spiteri. He gathers. Tips a little one forward again. And Leeton have it on the half forward. Swing around quickly. They kick forward. Looking for Lucas Moline at full forward. And he's marked 40 metres out on a pretty tight angle. But on the right side for a right footer.
Yeah, distance shouldn't be a problem. As mentioned, hardly a breeze, but if there is any, it's at his back, so that'll ride it with him.
Been a big plus for the Leeton side, returning from injury halfway through the season. The captain coach, the kicker's on its way. It looks good off the boot, but it's spoiled through by Dan Foley for another behind for the Crows. Jack Sussay to bring this in. He played his 150th game last week against Narrandera. Debuted against Narrandera, played his 100th against Narrandera, and then played his 150th against Narrandera.
And I think his sister had a milestone on the netball court, did
yes,
Andrew?
His sister Anna played her 100th today as Dan Foley marks. Chips a little one forward to Jack Sussay. He has the ball for the Lions there on the half-back flank. Goes out wide looking for Jack Reynolds. He marks. Leeton are doing very well to corral the Lions here out of defence as he kicks long along the line looking for Jed Corbett. And he marks on the wing. Goes to kick in field. Jones comes to meet it. The ball spills free. And it's going to be held up there across half forward. And it'll be a ball up. Umpire throws it up. Sab Hamlin in the ruck against Ryan. Ball kicked forward by the Lions. Gathered by Steele. Kicks it long down the wing. Race for the ball there by Josh Walsh. He tries to pick it up. Good pressure there by Bradshaw. The ball spills free. Back to Bradshaw. He tries to gather. He's going backwards. Hand passes looking for Jones. He can't pick it up. He stumbles and goes to ground, and the umpires awarded him a free kick for a high tackle there by Jack Sussay. And he'll take possession on that far wing. Comes inside and finds Seymour. He retreats backwards to Thomas Moline. Kicks a grubbing kick forward there into the middle of the ground. It's regathered by Jake Underwood. Kicked forward by Riley Corbett looking for Tom Anderson. Takes a good strong mark there under pressure on that half forward flank for the Lions. Reels and sends one, a high one to the goal square. Spoiled there by Moline, and it's through for a behind. Another one for the Lions. Leeton bring it in quickly and find Doyle. Back to Steele. Back to Norman. Kicks this long looking for Ryan. Spoiled there by Manners. Ball's on the ground there. Good tackled by Billy Burns on Seymour. Ball spills free. Kick forward there by Parker. Gathered by Moline. Tries to palm off McCree. Numbers there for the Lions. Picked up by Joe Foley. Gives a hand pass to Nate Hamlin. Kicks this wide looking for Brad Matters. It's over his head and it's going to roll out. Brad Matters says he touched, but the umpire's going to award a lasso free kick to the Leeton Whitten Crows. And the boundary umpires signalled to the central umpire that it was touched, so it's going to be a throw-in.
Right in front of the commentary position. Jake Woods shearing, sponsoring the commentary box. He'll be out next week at the show with the shearing competition.
Umpire throws it in. Ryan taps it forward into the half of Parker, but he's quickly wrapped up in a tackle by Butterfield and Zach McPherson. Seb Hamill in the ruck, taps that forward, gathered by Leeton there, coming through as Zach McPherson. Ball's bubbling around, and it's a hand pass forward by Hillam on to DePoli, and he finds Lucas Moline on the chest, 30 metres out from goal.
Only just 15 metres, but that's all that matters.
Yes, it was. Didn't travel very far, but the umpires awarded a mark to Moline. You'll go back and have a shot for Leeton's first goal of the game. Kick is on its way. It's a good kick. It's straight over the goal umpire's head.
Never looked like missing, Andrew. The Crows' first major here at the Den. The Lions are 2-2-14. The Crows are 1-2-8. Already we're 14.5 minutes gone. Pretty tight tussle here at the Den. The Crows have come out with a lift, that win to their second grade. As Andrew mentioned, they've had a really good second half of the season.
So in the ruck, Seb Hamlin's tapped down there, gathered by Ryan, kicks one forward, picked up by Shannon Butterfield, kicks forward on his left, goes wide, races the ball here by Charlie Smith. And it's a free kick to Leeton there. It's held without possession. Hand pass to Jones, gets one wide to Axwell. He quickly gets a kick while he's under pressure there. The ball's gathered by Ryan. Hand passes wide to DePoli. Looks to come inside, looking for Doyle. Sitting under this is Josh Walsh. He gathers, gets a clearing kick. A race for the ball here by Shannon Butterfield and McMillan for Leeton. Gathered by Jones. He's tackled as he attempts to hand pass, and the umpire's going to say he didn't have prior, and he'll ball it up here on the wing. Ryan and Seb Hamlin in the ruck. Tap forward there by Seb Hamlin, picked up by Jones. A diving attempt there by Joe Foley. Regathers there and picks it up just inside the boundary line. He gets a hand pass to Billy Burns. Goes around one, then on to his right, kicks it forward. And the ball rolls out. And it'll be a throw in right in front of the Sheds. 16 minutes gone in this first term. Game hasn't reached any great heights. The Lions lead by 2-1. Ryan taps that down into the path of Leeton. Kick it forward, and it's going to be a lasso free kick to the Lions there across half-back.
He'll kick it in right in front of Mark Bradley Plumbing from Coolamon.
Boston McCree comes inside to Jack Sussay. Has it on half-back for the Lions. Leeton are manning up very well on the Lions here as he kicks it long down the line, looking for Dan Foley. Goes through his hands, gathered by Leeton there. It's hand passed out the back, picked up by Jesse Lander. Tom Anderson regathers, back to Charlie Smith. Ball spills free as he's tackled, but the umpire awards a free kick to Parker. He comes wide to Lucas Moline, who marks on the wing. Kicks back into the centre of the field, but it's all Gamain there, and it's marked by Joe Foley. Hand pass on to Zach Burhop. He goes forward to centre forward through the path of Jed Corbett, but he's been tunnelled there in that attempt to mark, and he'll get the free kick at centre half forward.
Jed's going to have to kick this outside the 50. You can see the line there. We know that he can do it. Fantastic day for long kicks. Jed comes in on that right. Will fall short.
Ball's in the goal square. Players diverge on it, but Leeton clearing kick here, but it's straight into the arms of Shannon Butterfield there, and he'll mark, and you'll have to kick this by about 42 metres on a pretty average angle there, 45 degrees.
We've got a good shot of this, Andrew. Baz is right behind it. The sun is beaming on Shannon Butterfield's number there.
Kick is on its way. It looks good off the boot. And the umpire likes it, and it's snuck through for a goal. Goal to Shannon Butterfield.
Umpire Rick Furman, he likes to keep us in suspense a little bit, but there was no doubt about it in the finish. He raised the two fingers.
So the Lions' third goal of the term.
The Lions are 3-2-20. The Crows are 1-2-8. 18 and a half gone. Crows will have to, they'll need to keep this line side in check. They'll be looking for a major before quarter time.
Back to the centre of the ground. Seb Hamill in the ruck. He taps this back. Race for the ball here by Tom Anderson and Lucas Moline. It comes out the back to Billy Burns. He tries to pick it up. Grabbed by Moline. Hair pass forward to the Crows. Picked up by Shannon Butterfield, and he's been pinned for a throw there.
Here's the Crows' opportunity.
Come back to Hillam. A quick hand pass to Moline. He goes into the pocket there. Cut off by Zach McPherson. He gathers. Breaks one tackle, hand pass forward, looking for Billy Burns. Back to Zach McPherson. Runs across the goal square, chips and finds Lucas Hattie on that half-back flank. He comes inside and finds Riley Corbett. Takes a mark at half-back. Goes wide. Looking for Tom Anderson. It's a pinpoint pass. Hits him on the chest. He runs on to Charlie Smith. Kicks forward looking for Dan Foley at centre forward. The ball's on the ground there. Race for the ball there by Jake Underwood. Makes a good tackle on his Leeton opponent. He's wrapped up there, and the umpire called for a ball up 30 metres out from the Lions' goal. Dan Foley taps it back to Jake Underwood. He's tackled and he's taken to ground by young Jones, and the umpire will ball it up. Dan Foley taps it back. Ball's on the ground there. Gathered by Lucas Moline. He controls it, kicks it out of defence there to the wing. Coming out to meet it is Riley Corbett. It goes through the arms of Doyle. He gets a hand pass back there. Looking for his Leeton teammate. Gathered by Billy Burns. Goes wide to Brad Matters. Can chip a little one forward there, but it's marked by Hillam. At half back for the Crows.
Yeah, well cut off there by the Crows.
He dodges around Charlie Smith. He's been called to play on. Hand passes forward. Gathered by Nate Hamlin. Gets a hand pass inside to Jack Sussay. Kicks a little one around the corner and finds Charlie Smith. Was a very good kick under pressure. Can go to centre half forward looking for Jed Corbett. He flies and takes a good strong mark at centre half forward. A little fraction closer than his previous kick. You'll need to strike this very well to make the distance. He's going to go back and have a shot.
Yeah, you need his fairway wood on this one, Andrew. Jed Corbett comes in. Fades away to the right.
Picked up there by Jake Underwood. It gets a hand pass to Seb Hamlin. He has a flying shot at goal, and he's connected it straight through the middle on his left foot. So the Lions get their fourth.
He read it well, Seb.
Leeton to be disappointed they didn't kill that ball then.
No, well, they were almost expecting it to carry to the big pack, and it didn't. So you got to be ready for everything, really. Jed just didn't quite get that full purchase on it, but it'll come to him before the day's out.
So coming into the ruck for the Lions now is Riley Corbett.
Brilliant sunshine.
Ryan. Riley Corbett taps down. Lucas Moline gathers. He's tackled. Picked up by Riley Corbett. Clearing kick out of the centre there. But it's gathered by Lucas Hattie on the wing. The far wing side of the centre, and the umpire will ball it up. Riley Corbett taps that down. Gathered by Leeton there. They try and break the tackle. Swung around in a 360. Hand pass comes back to Zach Burhop. He goes wide looking for Lucas Hattie. He gathers in front of Atwell, kicks forward looking for Charlie Smith, gets a hand pass on to Billy Burns. He shrugs the tackle off, but the umpires deemed it a high tackle. It'll come back to Billy Burns.
He's had a number of touches early, Andrew.
Yes, Billy returning from school this week, and he's kicked forward and found Jed Corbett. Kicks a low trajectory kick forward there, gathered by Leeton. Ball's on the ground there, and it's going to go out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in on that far side.
Yeah, we've got sponsors out there. We welcome them. LDC Grains, Nutrien, Michael McCormack, member for Riverina. Thank you very much for your sponsorship.
Ball's in the ruck there. Ball's on the ground, gathered by Tom Anderson. Coming through is Ryan. He's tackled strongly there by Nate Hamlin. Billy Burns shrugs another tackle, kicks this one forward. Sitting under this is Jake Underwood. The ball's on the ground there, gathered by Leeton, and it's going to be held up there. It'll be a ball up. Dan Foley in the ruck. Taps that back, gathered by Tom Anderson. He's on his left side. His kick smothered there by Leeton as they charge that one. It comes into the centre of the ground there. Picked up by Norman. Gets a hand pass wide, but gathered by Charlie Smith. Back into Riley Corbett. He drills a long one into centre half forward as the siren goes. And Seb Hamlin almost marks, but the siren's gone to end the first quarter.
Beaten by the clock, you'd say, Andrew.
And the Lions hold a lead of 26-8 as we finish that first quarter. Game hasn't been played at any breakneck speed, but the Lions have had the most of that forward play. Leeton have shown some good signs.
Yeah, a few costly turnovers for the Crows, and when they have turned it over, as we know, this Lions side, they won't show any mercy on you. They'll dig the claws in, so to speak, and they mostly capitalise on that turnovers. So the Lions are 4-2-26. The Crows are 1-2-8. We'll have a quick break. Baz will cut to the new camera that he's put in down below us, so you'll be able to get a good look at the huddles here at quarter time. We're not responsible for anything that you hear from those huddles, so it's fingers crossed. Any more to add, Andrew, as we take a break?
No, we'll take a break, Guy.
Okay, looking forward to continuing, bringing this game against the Lions and the Crows here. The last game from the Den for 2026. Welcome back for the commencement of the second quarter here at the Den. The huddles disperse. Hope you enjoyed those images from Baz's new boundary camera. You can get a good idea of the close-up of, can't quite hear the address, but it's good to see those faces at quarter time.
So back to start the second term. Dan following their ruck, jumping high as Ryan. Balls bounces forward there, tap forward by Moline, comes wide there. Wrapped up by the Lions there in Zach McPherson. He takes possession and held up. The umpire will ball it up. Dan Foley grabs it out of the ruck. Hand pass on to Jack Reynolds. He's tackled as he hand passes it forward. Gathered there by Tom Anderson. Ball's on the ground there. Players diving in on top of it. Shannon Butterfield has possession. And the umpire's calling for a ball up. Umpire Jackson Connolly throws it high. Tapped down by Dan Foley. Gathered by Leeton there in Parker. And he's wrapped up in a tackle there by Tom Anderson. Another ball up. Dan Foley punches it forward there. It's grabbed by Spiteri. His kick is smothered. Picked up by Nate Hamlin. Gets a kick forward. It's smothered again. It's on the ground there. Diving on top of the ball is the Lions players in Dan Foley. Comes out the back to the Crows. They attempt to pick it up. Picked up by Jesse Lander. On to Nate Hamlin. His tackle gets one to Tom Anderson. He chips a little kick wide to Lucas Hattie. He can play on here. Chips one forward looking for Hayden Gardner. He gathers it off the ground. He's under pressure there by the Crows. Back to Jesse Lander as Jed Corbett takes a one-step kick towards goal, and he's scored the Lions' first goal of the second term.
Outside of the right boot, if I saw it correctly, Andrew.
Yep, he didn't have much time to put boot to ball, and it sailed through for a goal for the Lions, first of this second term.
Crows would not appreciate that fast start to the Lions to keep in touch. The Lions are 5-2-32, the Crows 1-2-8. with the Lions kicking to the Waterview Street end of the ground this term.
Ryan jumps high, but Foley reads it better. But gathering the ball is Lucas Moline. Charges out of the centre, kicks this one forward. Sitting under is McMillan. Takes a good, strong mark from behind there, and he'll go back and line up for a quick reply from the Crows.
That's what they want. They need him to convert this one.
Young fella played a few games for the Giants Academy this year. Shows a lot of talent. Left footer.
He'll kick from 30, Andrew. Left footer, we won't hold that against him.
Kick is on its way, and umpire Rick Fairman does not move, and then the Crows have their first of the second term.
5-2-32, the Crows 2-2-14. They need to keep in touch, this Crows side, if they're to put it to the Lions. As mentioned earlier, they've had a much better second half of the season.
Yes, it's got a bit of talent there to work with. Back to the centre of the ground. Foley and Ryan on the ruck. Foley taps it back. Gathered by Parker. The ball's on the ground there. He tries to pick it up. Gathered by Spiteri. Back to Ryan. Gets a hand pass to Parker. Back to Jones there. Comes wide to Steele. Kicks this one high into the forward line there for the Crows. Sitting under it is Josh Walsh. Ball's on the ground there. Doyle gathers. Back to the Crows there. They have a shot at goal, but it's smothered to his brother, Jai Doyle, and his kick was smothered.
A ball in right in front of the Harris contracting. So Sean and Brian Harris very busy with those spreaders and spray equipment.
Ball's thrown in, punched by Doyle. It's on the ground there, gathered by Leeton there, and the umpire's deemed to be caught with the ball, Leeton. So the free kick will go to Dan Foley. Comes back across goal looking for Josh Walsh. Ball's on the ground. He chips one forward there to Zach Burhop along the ground. His kick is smothered. Pressure here by Leeton against the Lions. They steal it through McMillan. He has a fresh air shot as he's bundled over the sidelines there. It'll be a throw in.
And there we've got Choices Flooring, Gammane Pharmacy and Elders Wagga Wagga in the background. Good pressure there from the Crows. Fight to keep it in.
Thrown in there, Dan Foley taps it down to Shannon Butterfield. Gathered by Hillam there, breaks through the pack. Gathered by Butterfield, but he's tackled high there, and it'll be a free kick to Shannon Butterfield in the back pocket for the Lions.
Chance to clear for the Lions.
He's going to have to kick down along the line, looking for Jed Corbett. Flying high as Lucas had. He's spoiled there by the Crows. They race for the ball there, and it's bundled over the sidelines in front of the Leeton box.
And that part of the ground, we've got Cummins Hendricks, Regional Hydraulics and Ag and Vet Services. Thank you very much for your sponsorship.
Dan Foley grabs this out of the ruck, kicks it forward to centre forward. Sitting under this is Jed Corbett. Ball spills free, grabbed it by Crompton, tries to dodge round 1 and 2. He's tackled there. Umpire says play on as he gets rid of his handball. Gathered by Hayden Gardner, kicks forward to the open goal square. It's going to roll into the goal square there, and it's through for a goal by Seb Hamlin. Just towed it that last little bit to make sure it crossed that line, and he gets his second.
Yeah, I don't think the ball had quite enough momentum, but
it was starting to spin backwards, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Seb said, well, I can soccer that one. I can handle that job.
So the Lions get their second of the second term as the players are coming to the bench here. Quick changes from the Lions box. Jake Underwood, Charlie Smith come onto the ground. A few of their senior players come to the bench. Jack Sussay, Shannon Butterfield and Jesse Lander.
Yeah, the umpire looked to give the Crows a fair bit of latitude there, but the Lions capitalised regardless.
As the ball's kicked into the forward line there, marking attempt by Riley Corbett. The ball spills free there, gathered by Doyle. He can't pick it up. As you've seen that vision from Baz's camera there as they came to the bench. His new addition. As we have this ball in the forward line for the Lions. Riley Corbett in the ruck, taps it forward. It's gathered by Tom Moline. Goes to Doyle. He goes wide, looking for for Seymour. Race for the ball here by him and Zach McPherson, who gathers, swings back on his right, sends this into the goal square, and it's spoiled there by Tom Moline through for a behind. And Cooper Jones will bring this ball back into play. Going to chip a little one short, looking for McMillan. It hits the ground there, gathered by Steele. Kicks infield, finds Parker. Back to Steele. Hand pass over the top to Hillam, but it's a good tackle on Doyle there by Zach McPherson. And he'll take possession at centre forward. It's a hand pass to Hayden Gardner. Sends this long into the goal square, but it goes over the head of Seb Hamlin, out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in in that pocket.
Sponsors there, Coolaman Butchery and John Banson's son, Funeral Directors Wagga.
Yes, Zach McPherson attends Wesley College in Melbourne. The APS season is over as Riley Corbett grabs this out of the ruck and kicks forward, and it's marked there by Cooper Jones. He's prepared to take the tackle, and the umpire will ball it up in the pocket. Riley Corbett grabs out of the ruck again, gets a hand pass away there, gathered by Leeton there, and they're taken over the sideline is Topoli.
We've got those sponsors here from Coolaman that support, their main support is Coolaman Andrew. Of course, Coolaman still flag favourites.
Yes, undefeated guy, played Griffith today, ball thrown in. Tussle in the ruck there from the ruckman as Tom Anderson gathers, but he's wrapped up, and it'll be another ball up. And the ball hasn't been returned correctly there, and it'll be a free kick to Ryan. Kicks wide to the wing, looking for Doyle, goes through his hands, gathered by Joe Foley, gets a little hand pass onto his brother Dan, kicks into the pocket looking for Jake Underwood. He takes a good mark on the half-forward flank there. He's on the right side for a left footer. He likes his chances.
Great shot here from Baz. The sun is beaming, making it a little bit hard for the images, but it's pretty good.
Kick is on its way into the goal square, and there's a free kick there. The umpire's picked something out.
Holding, I think.
It's going to Seb Hamlin, and he'll take possession at the top of the goal square.
His Crows opponent is not happy with that. Not surprising. But the umpire won't change his mind. We know that.
So Seb Hamlin lining up for his third. And he kicks truly. And that's the Lions' 7th of the game.
Skipping away a little bit now, the Lions. Bit worrying times for the Crows. 7-3-45. Plays 2-2-14 with 10 minutes gone in the second term. They'll need to work out how they're going to plug the flow from the Lions forwards. Andrew, I'm not sure how they're going to do it.
Well, they've got Lucas Moline in good form. He's sitting at full forward. They've just got to get it down there as they go up in the ruck here. Ryan hand passes this one forward, gathered by Billy Burns on half back. He's tackled as he attempts to kick that one, and he's been pinged for caught with the ball. The possession will go to Bradshaw.
Here's their opportunity.
Kicks forward looking for Hillam, but it goes through his hands, gathered by Moline, and he has a shot at goal. It's rolling, and it's through for a behind. So it'll be brought back in by Jack Sussay.
The Crows have got to defend tightly now. Try and get a repeat goal.
He's going to attempt to kick long and wide and finds Brad Matters in front of the Leeton box. He goes to kick inside. His kick travels forward there, picked up by Leeton there in Norman gets a hand pass forward, gathered by Brad Matters, kicks one long and low, looking for Jake Underwood, uses his body, keeps his opponent out of it, comes back on his left, the hand pass to Nate Hamlin, swings around on his right, it's going to roll forward there, it's gathered by Jones, he can hand pass over the top to Tom Moline, they have Atwell wide, but his kick is smothered by Lucas Hattie, and it's out of bounds. Good effort there by Lucas Hattie.
That area of the ground, we've got Intersales and Red Star Insurance Brokers.
The Lions just off a little bit today with their disposals. You think that'll be very good on conditions like this as the ball's thrown in. Riley Corbett taps that down, looking for Shannon Butterfield. He's caught with the ball and been deemed to have thrown it. And it'll be a free kick to McMillan. He can come wide, looking for Tom Moline. He marks. He can play on quickly and finds young Seymour, who marks in front of Brad Matters. He can kick along the line, looking for Parker. It doesn't meet your target. He dodges around Underwood, but it's a good tackle by Jake Underwood, and he takes him over the sideline, and the umpire called for a throw-in.
Yeah, Jake Underwood said, "You're not going anywhere, mate." That's it.
He watched his hips and wrapped him up. Seb Hamlin in the ruck. Ryan's ruck tirelessly there for the Crows. Tap down. Moline also almost gathers. Hand pass by Gardner on to Jesse Lander, but it's a good mark by Jed Corbett at centre half forward. He looks for Riley Corbett, his brother. He kicks this long down into the goal square. Ball's on the ground there. Norman's wrapped up in a tackle by Charlie Smith. Breaks that tackle. On to Steele, then on to Doyle. Comes into the centre of the ground. Looking forward to Poley, back to Jones, then on to Steele again. He can go wide and find Doyle on that half-forward flank. This is good play by the Crows. He's held up there. He can kick long. Looking for Parker, that is, and he marked unattended there at centre-half back. And he'll go back and have a shot.
He's got the opportunity here now to keep the Crows intact. In proximity to the Lions. If he can major this one, they're only 20 points behind then. Great spot to kick from. Perfect conditions, dry ball, sunny day, right foot, drop punt. Once again, umpire Rick Furman does not move. He signals goal. So a goal to the Crows.
That's their third.
At the northern end of the ground.
And second for the term. The Lions have 3.
7-3-45, 3-3-21. 14 minutes gone.
As they hang in there, the Crows attempt to keep in touch with the Lions.
They need a back-to-back goal, Andrew.
Back to the centre of the ground. Seb Hamlin in the ruck up against Ryan. Seb Hamlin taps that down, but it's gathered by the Crows. Pateri gets a hand pass forward to Bradshaw. He goes wide out to the wing and finds Steele. He sends this in forward looking for McMillan, and the Crows have marked again.
Here's their chance to go back-to-back.
There's a good opportunity here with McMillan. He's on the correct side for a left footer.
The flag suggests just a little bit of breeze from the north, but that won't worry this kick. There's nothing in it.
Kick looks good off the boot, and the umpire likes it, and that's the Crows' third for the term. Tallis McMillan second. So it's a two in a row for the Crows, Guy.
7-3-45, 4-3-27. Can they make it 3 in the row? Baz will be happy for him. I'm barracking up the Crows all of a sudden. He often says we're a bit one-sided. So we'll do what we can for the Crows within reason, Baz.
Thank you. Lions have got to get a clearance here.
Now, it's always a better game when it's a little bit close. I'll agree with that.
Ball thrown up. Sam Hamlin taps it down. It's gone backwards from Ryan. Race for the ball by Shannon Butterfield. Out to come to meet it is Doyle. Spoiled by Jesse Lander. Punches one forward to Tom Anderson. Kicks this high to the goal square. Under this is Jed Corbett. His hands go up, he gathers, gets a hand pass back inside, looking for his brother in the goal square, and he kicks it over his shoulder for a quick reply from the Lions. Riley Corbett gets his second of the game.
Yeah, good effort there from Jed to clear the ball when he was on the ground. So a quick reply from the Lions. Second on the ladder. They'll finish second on the ladder of the 2026 season. (8:3:51), 4:3:27. Racing to half time with 17 minutes gone. Time for both sides to go again.
Back to the centre of the ground, Seb Hamlin in the ruck. Ball's tapped back into the path of Shannon Butterfield, gets a grubbing kick forward. It's gathered there by the Crows. Picked up by Boyer. And it's held up there on the half-back flank. The umpire has a call for a ball up. Thrown up, tapped down by Riley Corbett. He dives in top of this, gets a hand pass back there. And sitting on this is Jake Underwood. And umpire calls for another ball up. Thrown up. Gathered out of the ruck by Riley Corbett. His kick is smothered. Lucas Moline gathers. Kicks this forward for the Crows. A race for the ball here by Jack Sussay in front of the scoreboard. He gathers. Swings one way then the other. Comes back inside to centre half back and finds Josh Walsh. And a hand pass. A kick inside to Brad Matters. He can go further afield to Tom Anderson. He spills a mark there. Gathered by Ryan. Back to Steele. Kicks a little one inside to his captain coach in Lucas Moline. He can send this long to the goal square but intends to kick short and finds Tallis McMillan. He's 55 metres from goal. The kick's not beyond him in these conditions.
Well, that'd be a great kick if he achieves that. It's great to see some long kicking, those that have got long kicking skills. It's great to see them pull it off.
Some skill errors there creeping into the game for the Lions.
Yeah, some miss marks, Andrew.
Swings around on his left foot, kicks this forward. It's going to fall into the pocket there, and it's out over the back of the hands and out of bounds.
Throw in right against the point post, northern end of the ground.
Ball thrown in the ruckus. Riley Corbett taps it down, gathered by Doyle. His kick is smothered onto Moline, and he's wrapped up in a tackle. 15 metres out from goal.
Yeah, the Lions pounced on him, not going to give him a metre.
Riley Corbett in the ruck taps it back. It's gathered there by Josh Walsh. He tries to clear there, picked up by the Lions in Boston McCree. He's tackled and held up there, and the umpire will call for a ball up. Ball thrown up, Riley Corbett taps it down into the path of Parker. He's tackled and the umpire's called for another ball up.
That's 3.
Corbett and Doyle tap back there. It's on the ground there as the Lions try to gather. Zach Burhop on top of this one. Charging through is Josh Walsh. He's wrapped up in the goal square. And the umpire will call for another ball up. Metres from the Crows goal line.
That's 4, but who's counting? Crows desperate there. They thought the umpire should have penalised him for holding the ball.
Ball's tapped back there and another tackle there on a Crows opponent in Parker, and be another ball up. Tapped outwards there and charging through is Tom Anderson. He clears this out of defence. Goes long looking for Hayden Gardner. Spoiled there by the Crows. He tries to gather into the path of Seb Hamlin, picked up by Hayden Gardner, kicks this high to centre forward. Sitting under this is Jed Corbett, gathered by Jake Underwood. He's tackled, and the umpire will call for a ball up.
Chance here for the Lions, right on the cusp of half-time. They've cleared it. Tom Anderson cleared it from the back line.
Dan Foley taps it back. It's on the ground there. Trying to pick it up is McMillan. DePoli tries to burst through, and he's tackled. Another ball up there at the opposite end now. Dan Foley taps it back, looking for Jake Underwood. The ball's on the ground. They're gapped by Jesse Lander. Charlie Smith's tackled. Ball spills free. Steele dives in on top of it for the Crows, and Lions players appealing for a caught with the ball, but the umpire's going to ball it up. Dan Foley taps it back into the path of Lucas Hattie. Gets hand pass out to Tom Anderson as a grubbing kick for goal. And it rolls through for a goal for the Lions. The Leeton opponent there was desperate to try and spoil it in the goal square.
Tom Anderson be happy with that one, Andrew. Uncharacteristically, I'll say that carefully, he dropped the mark here below us a few minutes ago, and then he cleared the ball from the back line there for that surge for the Lions entry, and ended up getting a goal out of it. So well played, Tom Anderson. Well played, the Lions, on that occasion. 9-3-57, 4-3-27. 22 and a half minutes gone.
Ball thrown up, Seb Hamlin in the ruck with Ryan. It comes into the path of McMillan. He sends this one forward as Seb Hamlin is absolutely flattened there by Bradshaw. And there's a bit of a scuffle going on. And the umpires awarded a free kick here to Seb Hamlin for that bump. Takes possession in the centre of the ground. He's copped it right up in the Adam's apple. Sends this forward for the Lions, looking for Jed Corbett on the half-forward flank. He leaps high and takes a good mark in front of Crompton. He's 55 metres from goal.
Jed puts those arms up. It's hard to tell what the difference between that and the goals post once he puts those arms up.
He's going to put this up into the goal square. The kick is high. Sitting under this is the Crows there in Ryan, and he forces that out of bounds.
Yeah, double-fisted. That's about all he could do on that occasion. So well defended by the Crows.
And it'll be a throw-in the Lions' pocket.
Dying stages of the second.
Dan Foley taps it back, looking for Shannon Butterfield. Race for the ball there by Nate Hamlin. Gapped by Shannon Butterfield onto Billy Burns. The ball bumbling free there. Comes back to Jack Reynolds. Hand pass backwards to Seb Hamlin. He can go wider there to Joe Foley on the half-forward flank. He can get a clear run at goal here, but he marks and holds it up. And he'll look to send this long into the goal square. He's 60 metres from goal. Crows with numbers back in defence. He goes to come right across the ground looking for Brad Matt as he leaps high through his hands. Gapped by Jack Reynolds. Back to Josh Walsh. Comes inside. Tips a little one over the top looking for Shannon Butterfield. But it's cut off there by Atwell for the Crows. He'll go wider looking for Tom Moline. He marks. Swings around on his left and goes wide. Finds Seymour on that half-back flank. He can chip along further. And it's marked there by the Crows. They look to bring it back inside. Gathered there by DePoli. He can come inside looking for Ryan in the ruck there. He marks. Goes along the line. But it's cut off by Riley Corbett, who's moved to the back line there in this late in this second term. And he's asking his teammates just to steady down late in this second term. He has the ball on half-back. He'll look to send it long down the line. Kicks wide looking for Dan Foley. He uses his body well and marks one-handed there against his opponent. Quickly plays on, sends this into centre forward. And up high is Jed Corbett, who marks 40 metres out from goal.
Siren must be close now. Yeah, Jed will have to kick from 42 or 3. There's the siren. I brought it on for you, Jed.
Yes.
Jed comes in under perfect conditions here at the Den. The goal umpire taps his chest with one hand, signalling one behind to the southern end of the ground. So we've reached half time here at the Den.
Yes, the Lions go into half time with a 31-point lead here. And they'll be looking to improve their skills in this second half, as Leeton have been more than a reputable challenger so far today.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like we're 5 goals in front, Andrew, because the Crows have they've defended well, and they've got some goals that term, which is lifted. So the Lions will need to be on their mettle.
Yes, they've just got a few fundamentals to work on there, so no doubt Coach Riley Corbett will emphasise that at half-time.
So we look forward to bringing you the second half of this game once we've had a drink, gathered our thoughts. Good contest, not a bad contest here at the Den. As promised, we're back with the third quarter here at the Den. The Lions are 9-4-58, the Crows are 4-3-27. Messages have been delivered.
In the ruck is Dan Foley and Ryan for the Crows. Ryan taps it down. It's gathered by Parker. Back to Lucas Moline. He gets a high kick out to the wing. Sitting under this is Zach McPherson. He flies high. Gathered there by the Crows in Atwell. He gets a hand pass backwards there to Norman. He kicks down along the wing there, and the ball spoiled over by Zach McPherson. It'll be a throw-in. All in front of the Leeton interchange. Dan Foley has back, tries to grab it out of the ruck. Coming through on a good tackle there by Zach McPherson on Parker, and he's rewarded with a free kick. Going to kick this one long to full forward. Coming out to meet it is the Crows there though, and it's marked by Crompton there. Intercept, comes into the centre of the ground, the ball's bouncing there in front of Tom Moline. He goes wide to Doyle. Kicks further afield out wide to Steele, but it's going to just be kept in the sidelines there. A race for the ball there by Seb Hamlin, is it? Or Lucas Hattie? No, Jed Corbett it was. He gets to his feet, and it's going to be a ball up on that far half-forward flank for the Lions. It's punched forward by Ryan into the path of Lucas Hattie. He dodges around one, kicks it forward there. Gathered by Jed Corbett. Hair pass back to Billy Burns. Kicks around the corner, high into the goal square to Riley Corbett. Ball rolls across the face of goal though, as his opponent Tom Moline and Corbett wrestle. And it's going to be a throw-in right beside that goal post, behind post on the clubhouse side. Thrown in high. Riley Corbett grabs it out of the ruck, swings around on his right, curls it back for a goal. And that's the Lions' first of the third term. Riley Corbett's third goal.
Superior strength there from Riley Corbett. Outbodied his opponent. Brought it down onto his foot. No chance of defending that.
Yes, he's had a lot of experience rucking in the sandful for West Adelaide.
Yeah, you can't beat that body-on-body work, Andrew. It's well, he's got that, like you said, he's learnt that from the higher skilled league. Brought it back into this competition. Very hard to defend against that.
Back to the centre of the ground, Dan Foley in the ruck. Ryan leaps higher and taps this down, but it's gathered by Shannon Butterfield. He's wrapped up in the tackle there by Lucas Moline. Umpire balls it up. Dan Foley taps it down into the path of Tom Anderson. Chips a little one wide. Finds Lucas Hattie. And chips one on to Jack Reynolds as the Lions spread from that contest. He sends this one long, deep, sitting under it is Jed Corbett. And he marks there at half forward in front of Crampton, and he'll go back and have a shot. Hopefully his radar's on target for this one. It's a tight angle.
Almost looked like the ball was going to spill, but Jed reeled it in with the second and third grabs.
He's currently kicked the 1-2 and a couple of shots that haven't quite made the distance.
Flags limp.
And the goal umpire likes it.
Yeah, the players liked it before the goal umpire, so that's always a good indication, Andrew.
And the Lions get the first 2 goals of this third term. The Crows will be looking to respond, to keep in touch, to peg their way back into this contest and finish their season on a high.
That'll be good for Jed's confidence to get that major on the board early.
the centre of the ground. Dan Foley and Ryan in the ruck for the Crows. Ryan's high, taps it back, looking for Hillam. He's on top of the ball there. He's tackled by Butterfield. And it'll be another ball up. Dan Foley with front position, taps it backwards, but it's gathered there by Billy Burns. He tries to pick it up, and he's wrapped up in a tackle there by Hillam. And it'll be another ball up. Foley taps it over his shoulder, but it's sharked there by Hillam. Quick hands to DePoli. Spills free. On to Hayden Gardner. He's hand pass forward there, gathered by Brad Mattis. Gets a hand pass backwards there, gathered by the Crows in Spiteri. Kicks forward, but it's marked by Joe Foley on half-back for the Lions. Chip one over the top, looking for Reynolds. He's put under pressure there, spoiled by Lucas Moline. He gathers, can kick forward, hand pass into the path of Hillam. He fumbles though, met by Matters. He tries to regather, and an umpire will call for a ball up. Ryan comes through, taps that forward. It's gathered by the Crows there. They kick into the forward line there. It's raced for the ball there by McMillan and Boston McCree, and it's out over the sidelines there. That was kicked forward by Cohen Matthews. Seen a lot of Cohen so far today, but young player there for the Crows.
And sponsors there, Flynn Design.
Dan Foley grabs that out of the ruck. Gets a toe forward to Tom Anderson. Quick hands to Jack Reynolds. Kicks this forward, and it's a leaping high mark there by Sam Hamlin at half-back for the Lions. He can cross the field now to Zach Burhop. Ball rolls through his feet there. Pressure there from the Crows. He tries to gather and drag it in. It's picked up by Josh Walsh. He's tackled. The umpire's going to call for a ball up. And the Crows have stopped that escape from defence there by the Lions. They have it on their half-forward flank as Dan Foley grabs it out of the ruck and kicks it forward. Gathered by Billy Burns, tries to get a hand pass there. It's picked up by Jones, onto Moline, onto Matthews, back to McMillan. He swung around at a tackle, grabbed by Hayden Gardner across half-back. He bursting through defence there. Gets a hand pass forward there as there's pressure from Lucas Moline, and he's been awarded with a free kick there. It was a throw, actually. It's gone to Norman. On to Doyle. He sends this forward there for the Crows. Sitting under this is Dan Foley. Goes through his hands. Grabbed by Brad Matters there. Comes wide to Zach McPherson. He can quickly move it on to Nate Hamlin. He can run on here. He has the ball on half back. Kicks forward looking for his brother Seb. He takes a good mark on the wing. Pass on to Brad Matters. Shepherd there by Nate Hamlin. Kicks forward looking for Riley Corbett. He marks the ball. He can drill this forward. It's a big kick into the forward line there, and it's marked, gathered there by Lucas Hattie. Kicks this forward, spoiled there by DePoli. On Billy Burns, gathered by Jones. Can hand pass to Norman. He's tackled almost by Butterfield. Gets a hand pass on to Boyer. Goes into the centre of the ground, but it's a missed kick, and it's straight into the arms of Billy Burns. He's marked this 35 metres out from goal on a 45-degree angle.
He's been in it a lot today, so he'll be keen to slot this one through.
Yes, Billy currently attending Xavier College in Melbourne. Finished their APS season with the Xavier team. Finished third on the ladder as he comes in on his approach. Kick is on its way. It's going to drift to the right. No, it's marked in the goal square by Tom Moline.
Right on the last line.
Goes to come up the centre of the ground. Finds Norman. Gets a hand pass back to Moline. It runs out of defence. Goes wide and finds Atwell on that far side. Comes into the centre of the ground. Finds Seymour. He marks in front of Charlie Smith. Crows just held up here across half back. And he finds Hillam right on the point of the centre square. Chips across and finds Steele. Dodges around Butterfield, kicks it forward. Good movement here from the Crows. They have it in the centre of the ground through Doyle. Kick wider to the opposing flank, but it's a good mark there by the Crows. Swings around on his left, looking for Moline. Leaps out from full forward, spoiled there by Boston McCree. McLean taps it back, gathered by Zach McPherson. He can cross the goals there. Goes to the far side and finds Zach Burhop. He plays on quickly. He's got a paddock in front of him which to run. Takes his second bounce. Sends one long and low, looking for Riley Corbett. He marks on his chest at half forward. Swings around. He's got Jed Corbett on his own. 30 metres out from goal, and it drills it into his brother, and he'll have a shot 30 metres out.
Andrew, I think they've rehearsed that one on the front lawn occasionally.
Yes, he's was good movement there from the Lions. They had Leeton then on the overlap. Well,
good work from Zach McPherson. He spotted up Zach Burhup out on that other half-back flank.
He's hit the post.
Hit the post at the northern end.
Disappointed. Training Thursday night, I don't think he missed a goal, but it's a different when you get to the added pressure of game day as the Crows bring this in, and it's marked by Steele at half-back. He quickly plays on, finds Doyle on the wing. Gives a hand pass back to Steele. He's held up there, swings one way, then the next. Gets a hand pass on to DePauli. He gets his hand pass to Doyle, back to DePauli. Keeper's off here from the Crows. A fumble from the Crows, back to DePauli. Kicks this forward, but sitting under this is Joe Foley. Across half-back for the Lions. He goes back across to the face of goal, finds Hayden Gardner. Kick long and wide out that far side. A race for the ball from Charlie Smith. And it's gathered there by Jed Corbett. Swings back inside. Kicks one forward to his cousin Jack Sussay, who marks on the wing there. Regains his feet there. Comes inside looking for Billy Burns and finds him at half forward. He quickly plays on. He's got Jack Reynolds coming out from goal. Almost marks. Spoil there by Norman for the, or Moline there from the Crows. And it's out over the boundary line. The Lions end.
Once again, throw in right in front of the Gammoon Sports Club and Nationals Riverina candidate Michael McCormack.
Corbett and Norman in the ruck. Corbett grabs it out of the ruck. He's tackled, but the umpire calls for a ball up.
Well, he's not a candidate. He is the member for Riverina.
Ryan taps that forward. Race for the ball from DePauli, the ex-Lavington player, I think it was. It comes to Parker. Kicks this forward, looking for Hillam. Spoiled there by Hayden Gardner. Sharks that off Hillam. Breaks the tackle. Sends this forward for the Lions to the half forward. Seb Hamlin behind. Goes through his hands. He can attempt to pick this up. Players meet solidly there. And it's gathered by Atwell. Takes one bounce. He's got Billy Burns in hot pursuit. Has to go back to Parker. He's tackled. Ball spills free. Gathered by Jake Underwood. Hand passes forward to Ryan. He goes wider then to Boyer. He fumbles there. He's under pressure by two Lions opponents there. Comes back inside to Atwell. Goes back to Steele. He gets his hand pass back to Norman. Pressure here from the Lions. Goes forward with hand pass to Jones, that is, and he's wrapped up and taken over the sideline.
Yeah,
Good pressure there from the Lions.
Yeah, just too much immense pressure from the Lions. The Crows are trapped.
Ball thrown in. Seb Hamlin in the ruck. Ryan, who's rucked tirelessly there for the Crows. Picked up by Tom Anderson. Hand pass to Jack Sussay. On to Lucas Hattie. Kicks his high to centre forward. Sitting under it is Jed Corbett. It spills free. Gathered by Leeton there. They clear the ball out to the wing. It's a race for the ball here between Burhop and the Crows' opponent. He gathers it first, but good tackle by Burhop. The ball spills free. He dives back on top of it. Players try to pick it up, and it's held up on that far wing.
Umpire's going to ball it up about 5 metres in from the middle of the ground, eastern wing.
About 14 minutes gone in this third term as Ryan taps it forward. It's towed forward again by Jesse Lander. The ball's on the ground there, picked up by Nate Hamlin. Kicks this forward. The ball falls to the ground there, and players dive in on top of this one, and it's going to be held up there in front of the scoreboard. Seb Hamlin in the ruck. Jackson Ryan over his shoulder, taps it down. It comes back to Nate Hamlin. Swings around on his left. He kicks one to centre half forward. Sitting under this Riley Corbett. The ball's on the ground there now. Coming through to meet it is the Crows. Missed tackle there by Jake Underwood. The ball's kicked forward now to the half-back flank for the Lions. Zach Burhop tries to pick it up. Joe Foley grabs. He's under a lot of pressure there. Ball comes out the back of the Crows. Grabbed by Ryan. Taps it on to Napoli. Dodges around Seb Hamlin. Comes back into the centre of the ground. It's marked by Matthews. He can go wider. Looking for Doyle. Unattended on the wing. Can drill one forward looking for his brother Taj. He's spoiled there by Josh Walsh. Comes to McMillan. Goes back into the centre of the ground to Napoli. He can send this forward looking for Lucas Moline in the pocket. He's got two on him. The ball goes over the back. Gathered by Jack Sussay. Can kick across goal to Zach Burhop. Can send this out wide. It's going to not hit its target, but front position there is Charlie Mathers. Smithy's disposed of the ball. It comes back to the Crows there. They kick this back into the forward line, and it's marked by Lucas Moline in the pocket there for the Crows. And he'll go and have a shot, attempt to kick his second goal of the game.
I think he's tossing up whether he goes around the corner, Andrew, but he's going back as though he's going to come in with a drop punt now by the look of it.
Looks like it, Guy.
He'll kick from about 20. Tight angle, no wind. We'll watch the goal umpire. Goal umpire doesn't move. Good goal to the Crows at the southern end of the ground.
That's Lucas Moline's second. The Crows' first of this third term.
They've left it a bit long to get one on the board. But this Lions outfit's come out pretty hungry in the third term. The Lions are 11-5-71. The Crows are 5-3-33 with 16 minutes gone now.
Ball thrown up. Ryan leaps high. Ball's tapped out the back there. It's gathered by Shannon Butterfield onto Jesse Lander. Race for the ball between him and Shannon Butterfield. Jesse tries to pick it up. It's grabbed by Malone. He'll have a running shot at goal around the corner. It's going deep to the goal square, and it's a good spoil by Boston McCree. He was held by McMillan, so the free kick will come back to Boston McCree in the goal square. Kicks wide, finds Zach Burhop. Lions have got Josh Walsh free on that half-back flank. Crows are doing well to hold them up, as there's a free kick here going to...
I think it's going to the... Oh no, it's coming back. I thought
to the Lions there.
Yep.
They just tried to impede Zach Burhop from running down the field with a front-on tackle, so to speak, and the umpire spotted that. As Burhop kicks this forward, looking for Jed Corbett, and he gathers it right inside the boundary line in front of the scoreboard.
Croker Grain scoreboard. Also, we've got Logan Hitchens there, Regal Signs, Isaac Noble, Donks Concreting Services.
Ryan taps that forward for the Crows, gathered by Tom Anderson. Kicks this one around the corner. Jed Corbett takes a good strong mark on that half forward flank. Looks to send this forward, looking for his brother Riley in the goal square. Good spoil by Tom Moline. Players dive in on top of this one, and the ball will be thrown up 20 metres out from the Lions' goal. Eyes on Riley Corbett. He's kicked the last couple out of the ruck, but that's coming in to tap it down is Ryan into the path of Jesse Lander. Hand passes one back to Seb Hamlin. Dodges around one. Has a running shot at goal, and it's hit the post.
Another poster.
Another poster for the quarter. That right-hand post.
Who put that post in that position?
So the Crows to bring this in through Jones. Comes in and finds Steele. Young Jackson Steele recovered from that broken leg he sustained early in the season at the Giants. And it's marked by McMillan. Ball comes forward there by the Crows. Ball's at half back there as Matthews hand passes over his head looking for Steele. Comes back to Matthews, and it's deemed to be a throw by Steele. Free kick to Seb Hamlin. Gets a hand pass on to Riley Corbett. He can send this forward. He's going long looking for Dan Foley. Spoiled by Jed Corbett there. Comes into the path of Norman. He breaks one tackle, then the next. And then he's tackled. And the free kick will be awarded to Jed Corbett. He swatted that one out of his possession and wrapped him up And he'll go back and have a shot on goal. The Lions leading the competition with forward half tackles. So that's another one to the Lions. And Jed Corbett gets his third.
Well, it's a pretty handy stat, that one that you plucked out there, Andrew. Because
yes, a very good stat to have, the Lions.
Well, it lifts the rest of your players. If they know that your forwards are willing to pressure and tackle and fight to the death, well, it just lifts the whole side, I reckon. The Lions are 12-6-78 now. The Crows are 5-3-33. Big break on the Crows now.
Back to the centre of the ground. Seb Hamlin's come into the ruck. Filling in there for Dan Madden, who'll be back next week. Ball's thrown high. Ryan taps it down, but coming through is Jesse Lander. It's gathered by Bauer. On to Hillam. Kicks this one forward. A race for the ball by Joe Foley. Trapped there by Josh Walsh. And he can go wide, looking for Lucas Hattie on that half back flank. He's got to wait for that one, but gets a hair pass back to Jack Sussay. Breaks around one tackle. He's almost tripped, but he comes back inside. Finds Josh Walsh. Lions have numbers on this side of the ground. He elects to come towards the broadcasting box. Finds Brad Matters. He can find Zach McPherson. He can play on here. Has one bounce. Can send this forward. Goes infield looking for Billy Burns. It's spoiled there by Lucas Moline. And players held up here, and the umpire will ball it up in the centre of the ground.
Andrew, what's the stats say about metres gained sideways backwards? Are we leading that one?
Oh, I'll have to research that for you, Guy. As Riley Corbett grabs that out of the ruck and kicks it forward, and it's marked by Seb Hamlin.
No, I'm not having a shot at anyone. It's just it mostly comes off that the Lions. They're quite often they're very happy to go wide, and that opens up the other side of the ground, and it mostly comes off. It's just something, as we know in the play from years gone by. Well, players probably would have been dragged for it. So it's just interesting in the different styles of football.
Yes, and back in those days you were roused on for kicking across goal, weren't you? As Seb Hamlin comes in on his approach, he just runs to the left to get further distance, and he's having a good game. He's slotted his fourth.
Yes, he's bought himself a few extra metres with that little deviation off the line, I think.
He was sitting on 23 goals coming into this game for the season.
Started the year in defence, I think, from memory.
That's correct.
He's been a good switch.
He's been moved forward, and there's that third tall up there today. He's been very effective.
Yeah, well, those two, getting back on that other topic, Andrew, those two life members watching today at the Coolman Hospital, there wouldn't have been many backwards or sideways kicks back in their day.
No, straight down the line. Riley Corbett in the ruck, up against Ryan. Umpire calls play on as McMillan hand passes one over his head, looking for a teammate. Charlie Smith gathers, gets a hand pass, but it's sharked by McMillan. He dodges around one, sends this forward, looking for Moline. It goes through his hands. Quick to the feet there is Moline. Jack Sussay tries to regather onto Doyle. Chance for the Crows here. He has a shot around the corner, and they've replied quickly.
Good effort there from the Crows.
That's their sixth goal of the game.
13-6-84, 6-3-39. Straight kicking is a feature of the day. Why wouldn't it be? No wind, dry ball. Perfect day. Be great conditions if we can have these conditions next week at the Narrandera Sports Ground, Andrew.
Yeah, well, they're predicting rain Friday, aren't they?
Yep.
24 minutes gone in this third term. Lions have 6 for the quarter. Crows 2. Riley Corbett the ruck. Tap down to McMillan there. On to Hillam. Another clearance here for the Crows. They send this one forward. Coming out to meet it is Maloney, gathers. Hand pass back to Doyle again. Mirrors of the last goal, and they've scored another.
Back to back for the Crows. Right on the cusp of three-quarter time. Just keeping a little bit of respectability in the score. 13-6, 84, 7-3, 45. Can only be minutes or seconds away from the siren. Crows would love another one.
Back to the centre of the ground. Riley Corbett and Ryan in the ruck. Corbett tries to grab it out of the ruck. Gathers a hand pass wide to Jack Reynolds. He gets a kick forward for the Lions. Finally a clearance for the Lions as it goes deep into their forward line. Race for the ball here by Milan. He's quite prepared to let that tap out, and the umpires deemed that that was okay and throw it in. Tried to mask that one pretty sneakily, but there's a bit of a roar from the Lions crowd.
Yes, they thought he should have tried a bit harder.
Ball thrown in. Grabbed by Moline from the tap by Dan Foley as the siren goes to end the third term. And so the Lions with 6 goals to 4 in that third term. Lead by 39 points at the last change.
Yeah, it's a comprehensive lead here to the Lions over the Crows at three-quarter time. I'd suggest, not surprising, but the Crows will fight it out. So the Lions, as they prepare for their final next week at the Riverina Sports Ground, Riley Corbett will be asking his team to finish it off, run it out, keep running. We'll have a break, we'll take on a drink of water, and we'll bring you the last quarter here from the Den. Back with the final term. Final game of the home and away for the 2026 season. The Lions are 13-6-84, the Crows 7-3-45.
So Dan Foley in the ruck, up against Ryan. Crows with the last 2 goals of that third term. There's a hand pass forward there by Shannon Butterfield, but Dan Foley's wrapped up in a tackle there by Ryan. It'll be another ball up. Ryan swats that one forward, leaping high as McMillan, grabbed by the Crows there in DePauli. Flicks a little one forward there. It's tapped off the ground by the Crows. Coming through is Billy Burns. Zach Burhop ducks under one, comes out to Jack Reynolds, kicks his forward and finds Lucas Hattie. Kicks one over the top and finds Zach Burhop, who's run back on from half back, and he finds Jed Corbett right under the broadcasting box. Goes inside looking for his brother Riley, and he's marked at 45 metres out from goal. Kicks across goal on his left, looking for Josh Walsh. But Tom Anderson is in front position there, and
might have lost it in the sun, I reckon.
He's been pinged for holding the ball.
Oh,
We'll go to young Bauer. He goes wide there, looking for Bradshaw. He overruns it, but regathers. Pressure from Jack Sussay, gets a hand pass forward. Picked up by Zach McPherson, then on to Hayden Gardner, back to Jack Sussay, back inside to McPherson. He comes into the centre of the ground and finds Josh Walsh, then to Tom Anderson. He kicks this one forward, leaping high is Riley Corbett, comes down into the path of Nate Hamlin. He's shoved forward there by Parker, and the umpire deems it to be a push in the back, and it'll be a free kick. But he goes inside looking for Zach McPherson, doesn't find him. He's got to swing around on his right, has good purchase on this, and it's hit the goalpost. It's a behind. Well, we've seen Josh Walsh in the forward line there, Guy. I think he's the only player in the Lions side that hasn't kicked a goal this season. And he was down there, I'd say, trying to snag one.
Well, the pressure's on.
But it was sharked by Tommy Anderson as the Crows bring this back in. It's kicked off the ground there by Jesse Lander. Ball spills free. gathered by the Crows there. They're wrapped up in a tackle there by Billy Burns, and the umpire called for a ball up. Went 15 metres out from the Lions' goal. Jed Corbett in the ruck, up against Jones. He gabs it out of the ruck. Kicks it on his right around the corner. Sitting under this is Nate Hamlin, but it's spoiled by Crampton there for the Crows, and it's through for a behind. The first score of this last term. Jones to bring this in. Goes up the centre of the ground and finds Doyle. Doyle goes wide, looking for Moline. He marks on that far side, in front of Riley Corbett. Swings around on his left, comes into the centre of the ground, finds Hillam. Then to DePaul, he runs off for a hand pass, looks for McMillan, spoiled by McCree. Ball's on the ground there, gathered by Jack Sussay. And the players pile in on this one. It's going to be a ball up at centre half forward there of the Crows.
Lions got to get it down the other end for Josh to work his magic.
As Doyle tries to pick that up, but it's going to be a ball up again. Dan Foley taps it down. Moline tries to pick this up. Picked up by the Crows there. Kick forward coming out to meet his Tar. Doyle, Josh Walsh is met solidly by his own teammate there in Jesse Lander. And the umpire will call for a ball up. Dan Foley in the ruck taps it down, tries to regather as Hayden Gardner dives in on top of this one. The ball's held up there again. Half forward for the Crows. Dan Foley taps it down, but it's straight into the path of Tom Anders. Swings around his right, sends this forward, but it's marked there by Boyer in front of Seth Hamlin. He's looking for options. He's been held up there. He's been asked to play on. Has to kick high, straight down the ground, but it's all Dan Foley on his own. He takes a mark at centre half back for the Lions. As Josh Walsh is off. Comes wide in front of the Leeton box to Jack Sussay. Back to Dan Foley, but it's eluded him and finds the chest of Hayden Gardner at half back for the Lions. He's going to kick wide. It's a floating kick, but it's almost marked by Jesse Lander. Pressure there by Spiteri. He's tackled without possession. Play on, says the umpire, and the ball's bundled over in front of the Lions clubhouse.
Throw in right below the commentary. Baz's box, sponsored by Jake Woods, shearing from Wagga.
Ball thrown in. Ruckman wrestle. Ball's on the ground there, picked up by DePauli, onto Spiteri, swung around in one tackle, gets his kick forward, coming out to meet it is Zach Burhop, and the umpire will call for a throw in.
I think the vision probably says that the Crows got a foot to it, but I don't think the boundary umpire saw it.
Yes, no, it's going to be a throw in, as Dan Foley will get a free kick here for a tug on the jumper from Ryan. These two have had a great tussle all day. Dan Foley plays on into the centre of the ground and finds Zach McPherson. It's a quick hand pass on to Tom Anderson. He has to gather it at his toes, swings around on his left and kicks it forward. Coming out to meet it is Moline, gathered by Charlie Smith. Hand pass on to Jake Underwood. Swings around one onto his left foot, kicks this one high into the pocket, and it's through the arms of Lucas Hattie. And it's out over the sidelines in the Lions' pocket.
Sponsors there, Coolman Butchery. Two people very happy in the box, Baz and Tammy. They picked up meat trays last night in the raffles. Those meat trays put together by the Coolman Butchery.
Ball thrown in, Riley Corbett in the ruck with Ryan. Tapped down, ball's on the ground there. Crows picked it up through Atwell, clearing kick out of defence. Lucas Hattie sits under this, marks, gathers, dodges around. He's just copped one high as he tries to evade under that tackle. And he'll have the ball 45 metres out. Baz is right behind this one.
He'll near kick on the line of 50, Andrew, so it'll test him. But we've got great vision of it. Not a breath of wind virtually either. Right foot, drop punt, comes in, won't make the distance.
Ball goes high to the goal square and it's forced through from behind.
Off the pack, one behind.
Jones to bring it in for the Crows. You can go wide looking for Moline on that far wing, but Joe Foley sits under this one and he's marked, but play on calls the umpire into Shannon Butterford. His kick is smothered, goes through the hands of Joe Foley again. He dives on top of this one, he's tackled. The umpire will call for a ball up. It's on the Lions half forward line, 60 metres from goal. Dan Foley in the ruck, taps it down, looking for Billy Burns, but ball gathered by Zach McPherson, hair pass to Butterfield, on to Tom Anderson. He kicks one forward, it's gone over the back of the pack. Numbers there for the Crows in Ryan. Breaks the tackle of Riley Corbett and kick forward and finds Jones in the pocket there. Can come inside, but his kick is cut off by Nate Hamlin. Swings back on his right, kicks his forward. Leaping high is Jed Corbett from behind and he takes the mark and he'll go back and have a shot at goal.
Jed read it best, that's about what it was.
Riley, go back and line up for his fourth.
Yeah, Riley and the rest of the pack, they were too early. Oh, you'll get this one, Andrew. 20 out. Pops it through.
So that's the first goal of this final term to the Lions. They race out to a handy lead now.
Where's Josh Walsh? Are they going to try and get him up in that forward? No, he's gone back to the customary role in the back line there. He's not goal hungry.
No.
More important for a win as the team goes forward into the finals.
They gave an opportunity to Jack Sussay, who got 2 in his 150th last weekend. Boston McCree. As Ryan jumps up in the ruck, taps that down, coming out to meet it is Tom Anderson. The ball's on the ground there, and it's gathered by the Crows in Hillam. He's tackled by Butterfield, and umpire will call for a ball up. Dan Foley grabs it out of the ruck, kicks it forward on his right, and there is Josh Wolf. He's on the run, he's having a running shot at goal, and it's through for a behind.
Oh, he just didn't read the script.
It could have been the one.
Never mind, he can mark it and pop it back in. We just got to get the Crows to kick it to Josh's pack.
As Jones brings this in and finds McMillan at half back. It's a little one forward to Seymour, back to McMillan. He runs on here, kicks this downfield looking for Norman. He has rear position but punches it forward. Cut off there by the Parker, back to Doyle, goes wider to Norman. And he can send this forward, looking for McMillan. His kick is smothered by Matters as DePauli tries to burst through, and he cops a high tackle there by Brad Matters, and he'll get possession there on the half-back line for the Crows. He's looking to send this forward. Plays on. Sends it forward, looking for McMillan. Sitting under this is Riley Corbett, who marks in front of Doyle. Chips a little one infield to Jack Sussay. Then to Dan Foley, but he has to pick that off his toes. Quickly on to Brad Matters at centre half back for the Lions. He can go wide to Joe Foley, who lopes down that wing and spills a mark looking into the sun. Regathers, hand passes on to Zach Burhop. He has it on the wing there. Drills one into centre half forward looking for Josh Walsh, but it goes over his head and it's marked by Ryan. Cross half back there for the Crows. He kicks this forward. Spoiled there by Jack Sussay on Parker. Gathered by Doyle. Dodges her a one. Gets a hand pass forward to Matthews. On to Jai Doyle. He's got it at half forward there. Can send one looking for Lucas Moline, but it goes over his head and out of bounds in front of Boston McCree. It'll be a throw-in in that pocket.
As mentioned earlier, we've got Harris Contracting, Sam Hattie Plumbing, Gamoon Sports Club. Thank you for the sponsorship through the season.
Josh Walsh, who's moved up to full forward now, as Dan Foley grabs that out of the ruck, on to Jack Reynolds, on to Hayden Gardner kicks this forward looking for Seb Hamlin. He's spoiled there, gathered by the Crows. And this ball spills out over the sidelines and it'll be a throw-in.
In that area of the ground, we've got Stephen Patterson, long-time player for the high game player at the Rovers at Coolaman.
Ball thrown in. Dan Foley taps it down. It's gathered by Charlie Smith. And the umpire called for a ball up. Dan Foley taps it down again. Been dominant in the ruck there. Back to the Crows though. Clearance here through McMillan. Goes wide and finds his teammate Norman in front of the scoreboard. Another one on to the Crows. They come into the centre of the ground, but once again it's been cut off by the Lions in Jack Reynolds. Hand pass on to Hayden Gardner. He comes wide and finds Zach McPherson. He can chips one on to Jed Corbett. He marks on the wing. He's got Nate Hamlin over the top. Can they find Josh Walsh in this passage? As the ball's kicked forward and he finds his brother Seb. He can hand pass over the top here, but no, he elects to go back and have a shot.
Once again, Baz is right behind it in our position here. We've still got time for Josh Walsh, Andrew, but it won't be this one.
No, not this one, Guy. It was a fleeting opportunity there for him, but...
Yeah, his Crows opponent just woke up and he went back and covered that handball option.
And Seb comes in and he slotted that through for his 5th goal of the game. So Seb Hamlin has 5, Jed Corbett 4, Riley Corbett 3, Tom Anderson 2, and Shannon Butterfield 1.
So Seb Hamlin's going into the finals campaign in good form. He's had a good season, really.
His brother Colby out today with a finger or a hand. He's got a finger on one hand and a hand on the other.
Oh.
That's the injury terminology. So back to the centre of the ground. Dan Foley in the ruck. Elects to stay down as Ryan taps it back into the path of Jack Reynolds. On to Dan Foley. Coming out to meet it is Jed Corbett, who marks in front of Crompton. Can he find Josh Walsh? He props this one up. Lucas Moline cuts it off though, and it spills free. Gathered by his brother Tom. Back to Seb Hamlin. He can go left and right. Can he find Josh Walsh?
Here he is.
And he's found him.
He's on.
He's found him in the forward pocket. He's 20 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
What a great way to finish the home and away round if Josh Walsh can slot this through.
Well, I don't know what the penalty is if you don't kick a goal for the year.
You might have to shout all round, do you?
Could well do. I think the umpire likes it, does he, Guy? And it's a goal.
Yes,
as all his teammates get around him.
He's avoided the shouting for the bar.
So Josh Walsh is on the board.
$16.9 plays the Crows 7-3-45 with 16 minutes gone. Final term, final game for the year at the Den, final home game for the Lions.
Back to the centre of the ground. Seb Hamlin in the ruck, but he elects to stay down as Ryan taps it into the path of Jack Reynolds to Burhop onto Brad Matters. He kicks this downfield looking for Charlie Smith. He gathers it in front of Lucas Moline. Hand pass onto Jack Reynolds. He breaks the outstretched hand of Lucas Moline and chips one forward and finds Jed Corbett. 40 metres out from goal on a tight angle.
Yeah, well, this will test him out. He's only 5 metres in from the boundary on that eastern side, southern end of the ground.
Kick is on its way and it's snuck through for a goal.
It's carried them.
And he also gets 5 goals for the game. So the Lions forwards have been prominent there today.
I was about to say it'd be the perfect scenario if Josh Walsh could mark that ball, but it carried them.
So the Lions creep out to 112.
Yeah, it's a comprehensive win now, Andrew.
Ball's cleared from that run contest, and a free kick will go to McMillan on the wing. He sends this long and low looking for Doyle, and he marks in front of Riley Corbett there. And he's 40 metres out from goal. Go back and have a shot.
Chance for the Crows to bring up their half century. Not many half centuries from the Australian cricketers in Darwin.
No, they've been struggling. Taj Doyle, kick is on its way, and it's just going to drift to the left. And it's a behind for the Crows. Brad Matters to bring this in for the Lions. He's got players in the pocket there, free. Finds Seb Hamlin. Go on to Joe Foley, but he elects to kick longer. And finds Zach McPherson. He plays on quickly. Fades a hand pass. And finds Charlie Smith on the wing. Kicks this one forward. Finds Jed Corbett. He's 65 metres from goal. Can he find Josh Walsh running back towards goal? But Talis McMillan marks 15 metres out from goal. Looks to send this back whence it came. And finds Steele at half back. And hand pass wide looking for Lucas Moline. Can kick this forward looking for Ellie Doyle. He marks, Jai Doyle that is. He marks on the wing there for the Crows. Just one long and low looking for Parker. He gathers at his feet. Hand passes on to Lucas Moline, on to Doyle. He swings infield. Can come into the centre of the ground. Spiel there by DePauli. Has a shot at goal, but he's sent it into the arms of Zach Burhop in the goal square. He kicks his forward, finds Lucas Hattie. Pass it on there, finds Riley Corbett. Move it on to Brad Matters, just keeps it in the field of play. Goes back to Riley Corbett. Keepers off here from the Lions. Infield to Lucas Hattie. Can go forward of field to Joe Foley in the centre of the ground. He tries to trap that one. It's gathered by the Crows. On to Spiteri, on to Parker, chips his forward. Spoiled there by Burhop. Lucas Hattie tries to pick this up. Spiteri tries to get a hand pass out. The ball's on the ground. It's going to be balled up there at half forward for the Crows. 20 minutes gone in this last quarter. Tap down there. Kick forward by the Crows there. Coming out to meet it is Joe Foley. He's tackled and swung around in it. He's been held up. It'll be a ball up. Ball's thrown up. Tapped down by Seb Hamlin. Coming out to meet it is Lucas Moline. Kicks one forward there. The ball's on the ground there. Ryan dives on top of it. Pressure by Seb Hamlin. The ball's can't be cleared from there, and it's going to be another ball up. Tapped down there by Seb Hamlin as Hayden Gardner meets that tackle from Ryan, and he's been caught high there, and he'll get the free kick for the Lions. Chance to clear here. He can go wide to Joe Foley, but he elects to go back to Zach Burhop. Back in the, no, it's Boston McCree, is it? Back in the goal square. He can go wider looking for Joe Foley. He marks. Bends on one knee, comes inside to Hayden Gardner, dodges around DePauli, goes into the centre of the ground, finds Shannon Butterfield, but he spills a mark. Lucas Moline on to Hillam, on to Bauer, on to Ryan, gets his kick forward, and under this is Boston McCree, spoiled by Doyle, and he taps one through, but it's touched by Riley Corbett. It's a behind. Burhop brings it in quickly to Joe Foley. Lions been a little bit sloppy here late in this game. He goes wide to Tom Anderson. Onto the wing, kicks this long looking for Zach McPherson. The ball hits the deck. Coming out to meet it there is Tom Moline. He's wrapped up in a tackle by Charlie Smith, and the ball will be thrown up there on that half-forward flank of the Lions. 22 minutes gone in the last quarter. It's it's Moline and Walsh in the ruck. The ball's towed forward. Brad Mattis taps it on to Billy Burns. He's tackled though, and the umpire will call for a ball up just shy of the wing on the far side.
Josh Walsh running back to the true full forward position still, Andrew.
Still trying to get us another goal as Seb Hamlin rucks that and moves on to try and gather. He's bundled out of the ray as the Crows come out of defence. Ball's kicked wide, and there it'll be a free kick to the Lions here. Lasso go to Zach McPherson.
Out there we've got Jason Lindsell, Electrical, Brillag and DJ's Tyres.
He'll look to send this deep though. He's elected to go way back to Brad Matters. The Lions are retreating. They're all way back to half-back flank. He goes across goal looking for Riley Corbett. He's got Hayden Gardner in the half-back flank here, but the siren's going to end this game.
Well, that cuts out the opportunity for Josh Walsh to become a multiple goal scorer today, Andrew. But he won't be sorry about that. He won't be disappointed. He'll be happy with the Lions' comprehensive win here today at the Den. And he'll be looking forward to next week as we come up against the Goannas, isn't it, at the Narrandera Sports Ground?
Yes, it'll be Magna Cookity United at the Narrandera Sports Ground on Saturday next weekend. So all Lions supporters, we need your support that can get there. The Lions take this game out with 65 points. Been a good victory in the end against a much improved Leeton side.
Yeah, the Lions were never under threat here today, Andrew. We know that, but the Crows gave them a good account of themselves. Terrible start to the year with injury, and they've recovered somewhat in the second part of the season, we keep saying. So perhaps that's some positivity they can take into 2027.
Yeah, so the Lions will have a week to work on things. Goal scorers: Seb Hamlin with 5, Jed Corbett with 5, Riley Corbett 3, Tom Anderson 2, Shannon Butterfield, and Josh Walsh 1. And Lucas Moline and Talis McMillan, the multiple goal kickers for the Crows.
Well, unless we've missed something, Andrew, we haven't seen any Lions player come off with what you'd call a significant injury today. They just have the normal game soreness, I guess. So we hope that's the case anyway. Yes,
it looked pretty good there. Nothing came up on Baz's camera there down on the boundary line to say that there was any major injury. And of course, they've got 4 or 5 players there that will be back next week. They've only soft tissue injuries, so yeah, they should be pretty well at full strength.
Yeah, it's been a season of hold your breath a little bit, and not just for the Lions either. Most of the other clubs have had the same problem with injuries to key players. So anyway, let's just hope that all clubs can get through the finals series with minimal injury. That'd be a great way to finish the season for all clubs. Riley Corbett holding his Lions troops on the ground as he addresses them about their efforts here today. Crows coming off. Possibly happy that the season has come to an end. So we'll take this opportunity, Andrew, to once again thank Baz Leffler to make his equipment, his technology, his time available here at the Den to be able to do what we do. We thank Tammy very much for her efforts, gives up her time. Tammy's been able to pick up some skills. Baz has taught her a lot in the last couple of years, I reckon. So that's great for Tammy. And thank you, Andrew, so much for your calling the game.
Oh, thanks very much, Guy. It's been a pleasure, and hope the people out there listening have enjoyed it this year, and we can do it again next year.
Yeah, Baz is talking about next year already, what changes might be for next year. So we'll keep that in surprise. But I think it's just great that we can bring the game to those people that can't get to the game, or they're a long way away, they've got family playing here and they're still interested. That's a great concept that I'm just happy that we're able to do that, whatever else happens. So, yeah, well, that brings to a close the season here from the Den. All the best to everyone involved in the Gammane show and the Lions as they in their finals campaign for the rest of season 2026. Good afternoon.